What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn accuses Tyson Fury's team of lying about Deontay Wilder fight and reveals heated call with Bob Arum. Okay, now this was a couple days ago. Eddie Hearn has accused Tyson Fury's team of lying about the Deontay Wilder fight, and the Matchroom chief reveals details of heated phone call with Bob Arum. Now, Hearn was left raging when plans for his man Anthony Joshua to fight Tyson Fury was taken aback by an arbitration ruling ordering a trilogy bout between Fury and Wilder. The Gypsy King is now going to take on the Bronze Bomber July 24th. But Hearn has his suspicions over the whole situation, which has left AJ set to fight Alexander Usyk this summer. He said, "We never forgot about the arbitration. We were just lied to by Bob and Team Fury. We were told consistently by the side of the team that the arbitration will have absolutely no bearing on the AJ versus Fury fight. Everybody signed a contract to move forward with this fight. They refused to help with the site deal. Eddie Hearn won't deliver this fight. He can't deliver this deal. Who's going to pay for this in the middle of a pandemic?" We knew who said that. Bob Arum said that. So those were the things that were said during these negotiations that Eddie Hearn single-handedly done. Okay. So I went out of my travel bag all around the world and I signed an absolutely beautiful opportunity for Anthony Joshua, the opportunity of the Tyson Fury fight in Saudi Arabia. Both fighters absolutely delighted, over the moon with the offer, with the numbers. We've got it. It's done. Okay. Now, those were Eddie Hearn's statement. Let me counterpunch something. This is what stuck out at me when I read this here. They didn't help with the site deal. Do you know why they didn't help with the site deal? Because it ain't because Bob's too old or Frank's too old. I don't want to hear that. You know why? Because Bob Arum was making deals in Macau, China, and other parts of Asia with no problem. Frank Warren, I don't even know how close. I think Bob's more of a promoter than Frank is. I know he's a co-promoter, but I think that's just like saying, who's the bigger manager, Shelly Finkel or JD's for Deontay Wilder? You know what I'm saying? Pretty much you would put your money on Shelly Finkel. He is the bigger asset on the management team of Wilder. Just like I think Bob Arum's the bigger asset on the team with Fury. Okay, so that side-by-side comparison. However, I think they didn't help with the site deal because they already knew. Like Eddie Hearn said, hey, we shouldn't have trusted them. We shouldn't have done this, or done that. Do you feel like I've let the fight fans down? Yeah, you can blame it on me, I suppose. But at the end of the day, I can look in the mirror and say, I couldn't have done any more. Look, no, he couldn't have. He couldn't have done any more. Besides what he's done, he delivered one of the biggest fights Britain's ever seen, but never happened. That's what he did. That's all he did. He did it by himself. There were no hurdles, no obstacles that other people put in the way because no one else helped. Okay, that's the gist of it. Eddie Hearn did a great job with the deal. When I see him, I will tell him that. When I see him again, rather, I will tell him that. But I feel that at this point of time, yes, they were lied to. Yes, it did have the Wilder arbitration did have a bearing on Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. Yes, they lied to him. Yes, I agree. But now what? That's my counterpunch. But now what? Why are we... Look, Eddie Hearn, I know, look. I know he worked this deal. That was his baby. He wanted to do it for Britain. He wanted to do it for his fighter. Sure. You know what I mean? He works for Anthony Joshua. He wanted to provide that fight for Anthony Joshua, but it's not his fault at the end of the day. It's not his fault that he was dealing with a bunch of liars. It's not his fault he was dealing with a bunch of older conniving promoters. It's not his fault at all. Okay? But yeah, he shouldn't have trusted them because here's the deal. The moment they said we're not helping with the site deal, he should have been questioning why not. Then he should have retracted on what's going on right now, the arbitration. See, they didn't lift a finger to help because they already knew, like, hey, there's chances. Oh, we're going to fight Wilder anyway. So let's set that up. Set up the deal. Let's get some venues together. And then look at it this way. Look at Bob Arum, right? Why would Bob Arum put money into 2 different fights? Counterpunch. Why would he spend money? It takes money to reserve venues, people. Okay? That's money. It takes money to do that. That's why I didn't help on the site deal. They didn't help on the site deal because that costs more money. So why would you do something that costs more money that you know more than likely won't happen? Either they thought Eddie wasn't going to do it, or they already knew they were going to fight Wilder anyway. Either way, why would they spend their money? Eddie spent his. Counterpunch. That's why. But all of a sudden, I had a reserved venue in Vegas and in California. He knew that fight was going to happen because that's where he put his money. And Bob Arum is not a stupid man. He just tricked and lied to everybody. You see what I mean? That's why they didn't lift a finger to help. They just sit back. Right? That's exactly what happened. But now moving on, let's get over it. My counterpunch to Eddie Hearn, get over it. Because at the end of the day, he tried and like he said, there was nothing else he could do. But there's something else he can do now. Focus towards the future. Okay? The future bouts, the mandatories, the unified champion of the world, which you work for, Anthony, Big Femi Joshua. Make sure he gets that mandatory and he doesn't drop any belts. That's my counterpunch on that. You guys tell me what you think. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys can counterpunch. Peace.